Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. For the call, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to a very loud and a sold-out Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our 2 quarterbacks, certainly 2 of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. They'll be led out by the final pick of the first round in 2018 out of Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson. On first down, Minor. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And here now the Baltimore offense.
And this is a unit that has to feel good about itself. Got the win last week in the wild card round, and oftentimes we say you want to get the open week and get some rest, but many times we see the upsets happen with a team that won the week before and has momentum on its side.
From the 27, Jackson, and incomplete. A look there at the defensive starters for Cincinnati. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
We had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what was fun to me was hear him say, I like what we did, but we need more pressure on the quarterback this week. What he wouldn't tell us, though, was how he's going to create it. Is it going to be just the front 4? Is it going to be 3? Is he going to bring linebacker, secondary? This will be fun to check out.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Jackson from the shotgun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
The Ravens send their punter out now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
80 weapons. Jumper, jumper, jumper.
On second down now, it's Stevenson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
An excellent year, obviously, because they got the open week, had the bye. But the one thing you always worry about, the rust factor. And I had a coach say to me one time, when you have that open week, you often think about scrimmaging so you're ready to go the next week, but you know you can't. So you cross your fingers and hope your guys are ready to roll.
That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Set. 60 outlaw. Right there. You draw quarter. 2.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Now the starters on the defensive side of the ball for the Ravens. Well, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
They held them to just 13 points in the game. And truthfully, you can't expect them to play much better than that. That's excellent defense.
On second down, it's Stevenson. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's third and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back.
And he's in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there. Taking it in. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point up and through. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a Bengals score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And for them, maybe a little carryover from last week's game. They got the win on the road in the wild card round, on the road here again in the divisional round, but they're hanging tough.
Hey, cue a little music, right? A little on the road again. I mean, this has been kind of the mantra they're under right now, and they can't change it. The season dictated what would happen with them, right? They had to go on the road for the first round for the playoffs. They're on the road again, and sometimes teams get really comfortable with that. Not only the idea of going on the road and shocking the world, but just, hey, it's just us. We don't have to worry about outside distractions. It's just us. Let's go play.
It becomes that us against the world mentality, doesn't it?
And while it may be overplayed, you know, in the media, it's real when it comes time to play ball.
Yeah, quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Just 3 catches in the wild card victory for him a week ago, and now he's got his first here, and it's good for a first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson.
Give me some. Give me some.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. And he hits his man, Matthews. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, and they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
He finds Matthews. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you can darn near lay down.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score.
Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2, as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker, Justin Tucker, out onto the field. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
I'm coming after you.
From the gun, Hamilton. Throwing right, and that's complete. That's good for a 1st down. Here's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Hamilton. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards there on a Bengal 1st.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Throwing on 1st down, Hamilton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
15 line. Patch it. Get it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go deep, tighten up.
2nd and 11. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's going to be out of bounds here on the return at his own 2-yard line.
Only able to get it to the 2-yard line on his return. Not going to make a lot of friends on your team when you only get it that far.
Now Jackson back into his end zone. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
To throw again on second down. Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then he curls back inside for the completion.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but over the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The Ravens on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw again is Jackson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down. Jackson trying to hustle his unit up quickly to the line of scrimmage. Throwing again on second down. Jackson. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Here's Jackson to throw. He gets it to Matthews, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
There you go, partner. 3 deep zone, what we call cover 3. Free safety right in the middle of the field. Going to be deepest wide receiver and able to make a play on the football. Notice how they kind of funneled everything towards him because they know that they got a guy who can react to either side and get a hand on the football.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Throwing to start the drive. Hamilton. And a throw right sideline is complete. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Hamilton. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's going to be caught. A big play there just before halftime. 57 yards. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bengals have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
General West.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now a give right side. It's Stevenson. He chucked, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season. Got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him, and he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main cog.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And the lead is up to 14. 5 plays there on that drive. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They go play action with Jackson. They'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Jackson on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jenkins. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And this is going to miss left. I don't think it even got there either. It's no good either way, and this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first and 10, Hamilton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. Hamilton. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 25-yard line.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Coming out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Recon, 132 fighter.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
Wide, get wide. 6-6, pull it high. Ready?
Now a handoff looking right. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. The point after is good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side, you know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And Matthews makes the grab. The 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. 73 yards. And the Ravens get a bit closer. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
23 yards the pickup there.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And the Bengals on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Hamilton. Flush to his right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 16. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead. Confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great play there. Saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Extra point attempt to come here. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That time a 6-play drive and was polished off by the touchdown run from the 16-yard line. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
All day, baby, all day. On the set. 58 to Mike. Check. Big grip.
They'll try the left side. Stevenson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down.
Check. 3.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Stevenson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Down. 60 Pittsburgh.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. A big play there on the catch and run, and even 50 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Throwing is Jackson. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is going to be incomplete. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And they give this time to the tailback. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. They'll try the left side. Stevenson, and he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. From 21 yards away, as his guys continue to pour it on.
As more and more up-tempo football creeps into the NFL game, some coaches don't think time of possession matters anymore. I believe we found one of them.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And the lead is now an even 30. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is, and oh, that is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does them in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. This will be taken at the 10.
Let's go, baby.
The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Bang, 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 bang. Big rip.
On third down, Hamilton. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's where you belong.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson got a man. It's Brown. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Third and 2. Here's Jackson. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. It's been all passing all the time on this drive. 5 for 5, and now first and goal.
Feels like a case of until they stop us, we might as well keep running the offense that we like to run. Don't change up and do something different just because you think you need to.
Tackles. Watch the eye.
And Jackson throwing once more. And he fires one that's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Set. 10 logo.
Let him know. Let him know.
Fight.
They'll try the left side. Stevenson. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Point after try forthcoming. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
that's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready, because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Bengals as we say so long from Cincinnati.